Hey everyone, Fantasy Answer here. We're back with some more variations. This week's variations are on the King's Jubilee. Now for our first recipe, and I know we've done this before, we substituted our light rum for a spiced rum. But I really wanted to use our Kraken Black Spiced Rum on this one because it's got some really cool caramel notes in there and it's not as sweet or vanilla forward as some of the other spiced rums we've used, so I want to see how that changes the strength. You definitely get a little bit of the burn on the way down, probably because it is a darker rum, and I think it's a higher proof too. Yeah, it's 47% versus 40, so you do get a little bit more of that burn. Overall, it isn't quite as sweet as the one from Monday. You get some really cool caramel notes in it though, some other spices, and a tiny bit of vanilla. But it does make a really great cocktail because the flavor is just a little bit more, has a little more depth to it, a little bit more complexity. So that's our Spiced Jubilee. For this we used 1.5 ounces of our Kraken Black Spiced Rum, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, and 3/4 of an ounce of our Maraschino Liqueur. Next up, we have this lovely blue drink here. So something I didn't mention on Monday is that the King's Jubilee is often called the Rum Aviation. Now the King's Jubilee does resemble Harry Craddock's Aviation, which kind of makes sense because Harry Craddock is also credited for the King's Jubilee. So we went a step further and modeled it after Hugo Enslin's Aviation and added the Creme de Violette. So we're going to go ahead and see how that tastes. It is so smooth, guys. If you haven't had Creme de Violette before, it's definitely worth the buy. It's a little bit expensive for its size. I think at Co-op here in Calgary, you can get it for about $40, I think, for this bottle. So as far as the size, it's definitely a little bit more expensive. And you can get other versions that for cheaper, but they don't give as nice of a color. They're also not as smooth. They tend to be more sugary sweet. This is just the floral taste, you know, or you may not, but you should try it. So anyways, this is a very smooth and slightly floral cocktail now. So this is our Violet Jubilee. For this one, we used 1.5 ounces of light rum, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, 3/8 of an ounce or 2 dashes of our Maraschino Liqueur, and 3/8 of an ounce or 2 dashes of Creme de Violette. And for our last variation, it's not really a variation so much as just a drink that was too similar to get its own video. This is called Roberta. So the only difference between it and the King's Jubilee is that you use lime juice instead of lemon juice. But like I said, pretty similar, but we're gonna go ahead and see how that tastes anyway. Pretty similar to one from Monday. You do get a little bit more of the tartness because of the lime though. Almost reminds me of a daiquiri a little bit, but the Maraschino Liqueur makes it a little bit sweeter than a daiquiri would be. But overall, it's pretty good. It's definitely more tart, like I said. So I think overall, I prefer the King's Jubilee from Monday, the original one. This is still a good cocktail, especially if you're into the more tart daiquiris and that sort of thing. So that's Roberta, and this one we used 1.5 ounces of our Plantation Light Rum, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, and 3/4 of an ounce of our Maraschino Liqueur. So that's it for our video, or for our drinks, I guess. Basically, we all know that this one's already my favorite. This one's a close second though, but they're very different, so it's like an apples and oranges thing again. But yeah, number 1, number 2, number 3 is Monday, and then that's number 4. I have one more sip of this. It's just so smooth. Anyways, I hope you like this video and enjoy the drink. Subscribe to follow along and check out some of our other videos we post Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And please drink responsibly.